ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. It's Saturday morning here in the UK. I've just got back, well, about an hour ago I got back from my walk. I've just made a nice big mug of tea, and there was a knock at the door, and it was from the postman, and he has delivered a parcel from Cheryl at Oneness Emporium. Now, I think I know what this is because Cheryl, just get that in there. Cheryl contacted me in the week and said, do you like whimsical decks? And I, oh, fab. We'll come to that in a minute. And I said, I do. Well, it depends. And she mentioned a deck, which I think this is, and it's one that I'd been kind of eagerly anticipating its release, actually. Before we do that, let's make sure that I am talking about the, yes, I am. And as you saw there, it's the Once Upon a Time Tarot, which is due for release in the UK in a couple of weeks. I think around the end of March. What are we now? We're on the 9th of March. So a good couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks away from now. I haven't seen any walkthroughs of this yet, other than the pictures that I've seen online. And so, yeah, I'm thrilled to have been sent it. Oh, it's in a nice sturdy box as well. I thought with it being a Lo Scarabeo deck, that it might just be in a tuck box, but not so. And I just noticed Cheryl's put in the latest talisman coin, which is our High Priestess. And that's exciting. I've got in the drawer actually here, the first two. So I've got the Fall and this is the Pamela Coleman-Smith deck that they're using as the images. So now I've got the 3. I would love to get the whole set of this. I guess they're releasing them in batches. And I worked out to get a full set would be like £700, which is crazy. £700 for a set of tarot coins. They may just be doing major arcana, because how many years would it take to bring all 78 out in batches? But for now, I'm keeping hold of them just to see what happens, but it would be incredible. I love the concept of coins, you know, on coins depicting the tarot images. So we get the lovely little complimentary envelope with a few little bits inside. We've got some cards from other decks. Parade of Life. This looks like an oracle deck. Celebrate the Joy. Oh, we've got a DC one here. I'm assuming that's DC for the comics. I'm not sure. And we've got a Superman logo, Batman, Wolverine. I don't know. I'm not a comic person. That's a beautiful image. I love that. It's got no, oh, I see, that's the backs, because this has 13 release peacock. And then we had this beautiful Ostara. I love the colours. And Cheryl kind of themes her merchandise for various times of the year. Thank you for your order, Oneness Emporium. So that's really nice. And there's a poem here about Ostara. So lovely little touches I find when you buy from Oneness Emporium. Okay, so let me get my trusted little penknife again, and we'll take a look at this deck. So obviously the title is Once Upon a Time. It's based around storytelling, fairy tales, etc. And I'm all into that, you know. I love it. I love Baba Studios Fairy Tale Tarot, and I'm looking forward to oh, what's the lady's name? It's gone right out of my head. Who does the pastoral tarot? Lisa Hunt? Is that who I'm thinking of, Lisa Hunt. Whenever I turn around and try and find a particular deck, it's never where I imagine it to be anymore. So, but I think it's Lisa Hunt, and she's bringing back her tarot, isn't she, about fairy tales. And this one, from the artwork I've seen, is quite whimsical, and Cheryl checked before sending it whether it's something that I would enjoy and appreciate. It's a beautiful linen box. Do you see? It's really nice. I'm not sure if that means the cards will be as well, but it's a lovely sturdy box. There's no writing or anything, with it being, I would imagine the book is in multiple languages. Nice on the inside, but yeah, really sturdy, and I like this linen box. Quite often with Lo Scarabeo, you can, if they don't do the tuck boxes for decks which has a small little book rather than a big book, you tend to get the lift off top boxes. So I wonder if this is what they're moving to now. Loving the backs. So let's pop the box to one side. So we've got this little book here. It's quite a chunky little book, 128 pages, but it is in multiple languages. So let's see what we get in English language. Quite a let's stop there, 46. So 46 pages, just less than half of the book. And it finishes with a little bit about the artist and the writer. So I will tell you their names, but I'll probably slaughter their names. So Laria Fossey and Carol Ann Eshenazi. I probably, as I said, not done that justice at all. And what do you get? Do you get just a generic meaning, message, and divinatory meaning? I would hopefully it would tell you the story that it's coming from. It does in the majors. So we've got here, the world is Cinderella, the road, and the dream. Oh, we've got some extra cards. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and the Wonderful Wizard of Oz. A Little Red Riding Hood, etc. Beauty and the Beast. I think I remember the Strength. I thought the Strength card was Beauty and the Beast. Am I wrong? The Strength card is Beauty and the Beast as well. Yeah, so there we have it. I'm not sure what the card stock's going to be like. Lo Scarabeo tend to do two versions, or we've seen recently, like Tarot, The Longest Dream and things like that, where if you buy the tuck box or the small version, cardstock isn't brilliant, and then if you buy the kits with the big books, cardstock seems to be a lot better. I'm not even sure if there is any other versions. I've only seen this version. So cardstock actually isn't too bad. It's kind of like in between. It's not the thickest, but it's not the worst. It's got a nice waxy finish actually to it, which is quite nice. Yeah, it's not too bad really. I'd imagine this is really nice if you're a riffle shuffler. You can see that they're borderless. We have English titles, which I think now Lo Scarabeo have gone from doing the multiple languages all around the cards to having symbols to represent everything, to then releasing decks in the languages in the countries where they're going to sell them. Oh, it looks like we've got colour themes as well. So we've got these orangey colours for the wands, etc. All right, so let's take a look. Now, normally Lo Scarabeo cards are a little bit smaller than US Games and MPC like that. Yeah, so they're narrower and a fraction smaller. So lots of people like that, particularly if you've got small hands. They're certainly not pocket, and they're bigger than like Fournier cards, but a little bit smaller than US Games. All right, let's bring the camera down then, and let's take a look at the deck. Okay, so hopefully that's a good, nice close-up image. So as you can see, it's quite fun, it's quite playful. I think this will be great for younger people as well as people like me who has never really grown up and really in touch with my inner child, put it that way. But yeah, so it's almost a little bit cartoonish, very whimsical, lovely colours. Hopefully that's coming across on camera, are really nice and vibrant. But here we have the full card, and this is Jack and the Beanstalk. He's climbing the beanstalk here up into the clouds above, where you can see like a palace, a kingdom in the sky. That it actually looks like he's on his way down, doesn't it, with whatever he's taken. But yeah, so Jack and the Beanstalk. We have Puss in Boots here, quite easy to recognise as our magician. I always hear Antonio Banderas' voice now, which came much later in life. Our High Priestess is Morgan Le Fay. So for this one, I will just give you a little bit about the book so you can kind of get a sense of what the book contributes to the images, really. And it says, the High Priestess, Morgan Le Fay, a fascinating and mysterious character of the Arthurian mythology. Morgan was a powerful sorceress who could be both dangerous and a wise helper, depending on the circumstances. She was the keeper of mythical knowledge and secrets, such as the Isle of Avalon. So, good choice for the High Priestess. And then you get the message. To understand the cryptic tales of the Book of Shadows, you have only one option: to follow your deepest intuition. The true answer can only be found within you. You hold in your heart the infallible compass that will guide you to the sacred island you long to discover. And then you get a divinatory meaning. Some truths are still hidden from your view. Take some time to unveil all the mysteries that surround you now before committing to significant acts. Okay, and then we have the Empress, which is the Snow Queen, the ruler of winter. And we have the Emperor here, which is Oberon. This kind of artwork is reminding me, I don't know if it's the Happy Tarot or something like the Happy Tarot, but then I see this, because these two in particular have quite similar art style, but then it seems to change a little bit here. I love this Hierophant image here. This is of Merlin, which is fantastic, isn't it? Wow. Okay, our lovers is the singing springing lark. Not familiar with the singing springing lark. A young woman travelled the world in search of her lost husband, who was under a spell that had first turned him into a lion, then into a dove, and then made him a captive of a dragon princess. So I'm really grateful that we're getting a little bit about the story and who the characters are. Oh, Baba Yaga. I mean, without the book, I would have known that, obviously. This is very much fascinating character, Baba Yaga, as well. Belonging to Russian folklore. Here's our Beauty and the Beast. Here's Belle. Belle of the Ball and the Beast here. Just give a close up of the artwork. What I like is the images in the background are paled in relation to the central figures, the characters. Almost like backdrops, aren't they? On a stage or something, but they really make the characters stand out against the backdrop. The Hermit is from the Seven Ravens. Of course, the wheel had to be Sleeping Beauty and the spinning wheel. Love it. Okay, so Justice is the peasant's wise daughter. The peasant's wise daughter. We have Pinocchio for the Hanged Man. Oh, the little puppet who dreamed of becoming a boy. Let's have a look at his. That's sweet. Now, I don't know this character, so the death character here is Frau Holl, or Holly. She can be seen as a fairy tale version of a German goddess of death. In the tale, she came to meet two young sisters to whom she'd offered some tasks. The good and hard-working girl was rewarded by a shower of gold, while the evil and spoiled one was punished by a shower of tar. Okay, so that's really depicting the scene, isn't it? There's the one that's wicked and being covered in tar, and then showered with gold. As I said, not familiar with that story, but then we tend to be told the tales of our ancestors, don't we? Okay, Temperance is the wild swans. Clever. Can we guess who these are in the devil card? Yeah, it's Hansel and Gretel. I think if I was designing a tarot deck based on fairy tales, a lot of these I would have absolutely chosen. And of course, the Tower for Rapunzel. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your long hair. I used to love the tale of Rapunzel. Star card is the Frog Princess. Beautiful. We have Little Red Riding Hood here for the moon, as you can see. With the wolf. We have Pegasus for the sun card. Look how beautiful that is. The Pied Piper of Hamelin for our judgment card. Do you see what I mean about the background? How it, you know, it just uses the primary colour of whatever the card is, but the central figures really pop and stand out. Clever use of colour. The World, so let's see, who was it? Cinderella, did it say? Yes, it is Cinderella, I thought so. So Cinderella for the World. And then we have the two additional cards. So card 22 is the Road, and the road here is the Yellow Brick Road, as you can see. Oh, look at little Toto, the ruby slippers, and Dorothy. And you can see the Emerald City in the background. And even Professor Marvel's balloon. Or the wizard, I should say, within the dream. In the Emerald City. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, and the characters are there. Look, there's the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, Scarecrow. Love this card. I didn't spot them instantly. So how would we interpret the road? So we get the story. Propelled by a cyclone to the land of Oz, little Dorothy followed the yellow brick road to the Emerald City wearing a pair of magical slippers to meet the wizard who could send her home. At the end of the journey, she finally understood that the real power she needed was within her from the very beginning. Message: you may feel that you are away from home, or that you are brainless, heartless, or a coward. All so untrue. Everything you need or wish for is already inside you, waiting to be discovered, unveiled, and used at last. The power is yours, so follow the inner road that will get you to it. Divinatory meaning: you're about to experience an epiphany that will highlight strengths you did not even imagine having, yet they have been within you all along. I think this is my favourite card. It's beautiful. Love it. And then we have the dream, which is, I mean, that could have been the dream as well, really, couldn't it, when we think about it? But the dream is Alice in Wonderland, or Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. And we've got the white rabbit here, and the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Yeah. All right, so when it comes to the minors, you no longer get, like you do here, telling you the characters or the books, the stories. You just get a message and a divinatory meaning. So, yeah, not quite sure why. But anyway, we'll go a little bit faster through the minors. But they're beautiful and whimsical and very, well, if you're used to the RWS system, you'll be okay with this deck. And these are obviously all water themed because it's our cups. So we've got these beautiful blues. Artwork is gorgeous, very RWS now, as you can see here. You know, and maybe they're not necessarily, they're fairy tale-ish, but they might not be depicting a particular fairy tale. It's just in that style. Lots of mermaids, as you can see in the cups. So maybe it's based around the Little Mermaid. Doesn't say anything as you go into... No, it just goes straight into cups. There's nothing on the previous page saying that this suit is representative of a particular story, but maybe it is. Wow. I think that is the Little Mermaid. Okay, so I just had to pause there just to check. So on page 6, under structure of the deck, it talks about the major arcana showed 22 famous fairy tale characters connected to the original Rider-Waite arcana, representing the archetypal steps on your earthly odyssey. The minor arcana include 4 suits: cups, wands, pentacles, and swords, which we're used to. Cups represent emotions and relationships, yeah. In this deck, they are linked to water creatures like sirens and nymphs. So it's not necessarily a particular story. Wands represent inner fire, personal creativity, and concrete action, and they are linked to the fire creatures like dragons. Pentacles represent the material world and the symbolic fruits. that we may harvest after sowing actions. They are linked to earth creatures like gnomes. In the end, swords represent thoughts, communication, and everything that belongs to the mind, whether it be luminous or dark. They are linked to air creatures like fairies and butterflies. And then it says you'll also find the 2 bonus cards. So yeah, it's not necessarily that because we're seeing mermaids in the cups that it's linked to a particular fairy tale like The Little Mermaid. All right, so we're into our pentacles, which is our earth suit. So we will see elves and gnomes and things like that. But again, also, I love this crystal cave. Also linked to the RWS, as you can see clearly here. That's adorable, yet quite sad. And I love the colour theme that runs through, as I said, each suit. It's really clever with these turquoise crystals and pink backgrounds. Got some little mice here. And then we have our fiery wands, so we've got to have things like dragons. Oh, that's nice. And then our swords, the air suit, butterflies, birds. Look at these beautiful lilac colours. Gorgeous. Wow. Yeah, little fairies. I love how the wings are almost like gossamer or even light. Okay. Oh, it's midday. The bongs are bonging. So, that is the Once Upon a Time Tarot, produced by Los Scarabeo. The artist and creators' names are there. I'm not going to attempt to say them again. But first impressions, really like the artwork. Lovely, vibrant, colourful deck. Very whimsical, very fairy tale. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I think this will be a great beginner deck, but also appeal to the inner child that we all have as well. So thanks for sending it, Cheryl. Really enjoyed it. It's a nice little set, really good quality. I hope that, you know, this is kind of Los Scarabeo going forward in terms of their production quality. All right, I'll be back this afternoon at 4 o'clock for a couple of catch-up and cards. And until then, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.